Mikhail Gorbachev was born on March 2, 1931, in the small village of Privolnoye, in the southwestern region of Russia. His early years were marked by the hardships of World War II and the strict regime of Stalinist Soviet Union. But it was his sharp intellect and ambition that set him on a path to become one of the most influential figures in modern history. As a young boy, Gorbachev was both curious and hard-working, qualities that led him to pursue higher education at the prestigious Moscow State University. Here, he was drawn into the world of law and politics, influenced by both the idealism of his professors and the grim reality of post-war Soviet society. It was during these formative years that Gorbachev met and married Raisa Titarenko, a partnership that would become a cornerstone of his life. In the 1970s and early 80s, Gorbachev rose through the ranks of the Communist Party, thanks to his adept handling of agricultural policy and his pragmatic approach to governance. But beneath the facade of success, Gorbachev was deeply troubled by the inefficiencies and corruption that plagued the Soviet system. Unlike many of his contemporaries, he believed in reform, not just in rhetoric but action, to revive the stagnating superpower. When he assumed power as General Secretary in 1985, Gorbachev began a series of sweeping reforms known as perestroika. These were aimed at restructuring the economy and increasing transparency, or glasnost, within the government. His policies were bold, unprecedentedly open, and quickly captured the attention of the world. Yet, change was not welcome by all. Gorbachev faced fierce resistance within the party ranks and from a citizenry unaccustomed to rapid change. Initial promises of economic prosperity ran into obstacles, and unrest simmered throughout the vast Soviet expanse. Gorbachev's relationship with the West, however, flourished. His initiatives in arms reduction with the United States led to a thaw in Cold War tensions, earning him the Nobel Peace Prize in 1990. Meetings with Western leaders, from Ronald Reagan to Margaret Thatcher, showcased his diplomatic acumen, painting him as a man of peace and vision. But internally, Gorbachev was increasingly isolated. Nationalistic movements within the Soviet republics grew bolder, and his attempts at policy reforms failed to curb the looming economic crisis. The momentous fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 signaled the end of an era. Gorbachev's policy of non-intervention marked a radical departure from previous Soviet doctrine. By 1991, the Soviet Union was unraveling before his eyes. A coup attempt by hardline communists briefly ousted him from power. But it was Boris Yeltsin's emergence that ultimately shifted the political landscape. On December 25, 1991, Gorbachev resigned as the president of the Soviet Union, marking the official dissolution of the nation he had strived to reform. Post-political life saw Gorbachev as an elder statesman, advocating for environmental causes and speaking out on contemporary political issues. Though his attempts to run for political office in post-Soviet Russia were less than successful, his legacy as the man who reshaped and eventually dismantled the Soviet Union remains indelible. Mikhail Gorbachev passed away on August 30, 2022, leaving behind a legacy of bold change and introspective thought. His life story reflects the turbulent journey of a man who dared to steer his country towards openness and reform, forever changing the course of history.